Hello and welcome everyone. This is Yanaman bringing you today's Fleet Ops audio commentary. We have new in the YouTube circuit today as the red Dominion. Down in the bottom is the Custodian, and his opponent for today will be, as the white Klingons, this is Tyrus. So they are playing on a 1v1 map today. It's the Passage, and it has a sort of winding S-shape pathway through it that will really nullify the Klingon's cloak advantage because of the nebulas in and around the bases. So the Custodian says he has only 3 days worth of experience. However, we can see that he has immediately jumped into a construction yard and is starting to produce bugs. Now this is a normal Dominion build, no surprise here, and he is pure tech because you can see the avatar bonus. And he is building up a second construction yard immediately, so he is going to be going mass bugs very, very early on. You can see that this Klingon scout ship getting just pounded by the starbase here, just barely making it out. Again, these nebulas disable the cloak, sort of taking away the cloak advantage that the Klingons have. Now up here in Tyrus' base, we see that he is in the process of getting his economy and his offensive production going. He is building his extension yard here, and so he will also have 2x production going on at the same time as his opponent also has the 2x production going on. Now the Custodian is hanging out with his scout right over here on the other side of this nebula. This is going to give him a decent idea of what ships are coming out of this base. It's a smart move. Unfortunately, the Dominions don't have cloak, and so this is going to this scout is going to end up dying very shortly if Tyrus pulls out any sort of offensive ships. So we can see down here on the bottom of the minimap that the Custodian is moving into his first expansion. Now the first expansion is a little bit more exposed because it is not protected by the nebula, though the green nebulas do provide sort of proxy repair for both both the persons in the base and for your enemy. So one of the strategies on this map is to camp out in this nebula as an attacking force, and the opponent that you're attacking won't really be able to do as much damage as possible, especially if you can hang out in the nebula and your opponent tries to attack you while you're in it and he stays out. So some good use of some green nebulas here can spell some very decent tactical victories for one or the other. So we can see that the Klingons, Tyrus, is moving in up, trying to move to his expansion. And you can see that he's got a pair of Borels out, so they are going to very quickly move over here and take on this scout. But Custodian has recognized that he's probably going to get tagged very shortly and is moving away. So good move on his part, moving a scout, keeping a scout alive, giving himself at least a little bit of extra eyes on the board. I would expect him to I don't exactly know what he's going to do with this guy. It looks like he's going to repair him, though that's not going to do him much good. A scout in your base is really not much worth it of anything. So we have some of these bugs. He's got 3 bugs moving in over to this expansion. So if he is lucky, he'll be able to get, he's hoping that he's going to be able to pop in really quickly and get a couple quick kills. Maybe one quick kill on one of these minor classes. With only 3 bugs, that is actually not a lot. So they're not going to be able to take out the constructor. They probably should leave the constructor. Oh, so they have rammed the constructor. Wow, this is an interesting approach to dealing with an expansion, so that constructor's not really going to do much of anything. It's actually going to be a little bit of a bad move for the Custodian. He has now reduced his firepower down by a third. He has lost one of his. He has effectively self-destructed one of his own bugs, and these Barrels come in very quickly and are able to chase these guys off. So as you can see, the net result is no harm done to the Klingons, and the Dominion are now down an extra ship. So this is a little bit of a problem for the Dominion. Wow, I don't know what this one ship is doing. Oh, it did do a kamikaze run on one of those Brels. So that ended up being I don't know what I would call that one. Is that a good move or a bad move? But nonetheless, it did even out the field. It caused the Klingons to back off, or at least give them pause, allowing this other ship to move in and go get repaired. Now, as far as the bugs and these Barrels cost about 20, 30 dilithium more and about 10 tritanium more. And so they are actually a good trade-off. Bug for Barrel will work in the Dominion favor. So as soon as we see the Dominion getting more of these bugs, so you can see that, oh wow, okay, so this is one of the things that we see a lot of Dominions try to tech early into the S2 escort cruiser. It has a Kitracel White special ability, which will increase the your firing rate of your ships by 35%. Good 35% boost. I've seen a number of players try various times of getting that S2 cruiser. Some of the best players will actually defer the S2 until about 15 bugs, 15 to 20 bugs. We can see that Custodian is doing 6 or 7, maybe 8, counting the 2 that he's lost so far. So Custodian is probably moving a little bit too early into the S2. He is going to be sacrificing his bug production in order to make this S2, and he is not going to have quite the offensive power that he needs in order to make up for the fact that he is now having to do a prototype that is not an offensive ship and doing the research and then producing the S2. So in that amount of time, I believe he probably could have produced 3, maybe 4 bugs, especially if you include the technology lab cost. So you can now see that he doesn't have any bugs producing, and so he's going to end up with about 6 bugs in the field, and the Klingons, Tyrus, is moving forward with a good 7 of those Quebecs. So Brels versus Quebecs, 7 Brels, a Quebec. These guys are going to move down in here. The one advantage that the Dominion have here is that in this engagement, their miners and construction ships are pretty sturdy. So here we have a Quebec. The Quebecs are quite sturdy classes, ship classes in them of themselves. This guy, wow, these I believe these are, yes, they are Turok Avatar Barrels, and so they have extra, they do have the photon torpedo, makes them very deadly. They have additional offensive values, so these bugs are getting just slaughtered, and this is going to work very well in the Klingons' favor. They have gotten a decided offensive advantage here. The Klingons came in here with about 7 of these guys. They have 5. They have their Quebec. The Dominion here are in a bit of a bind. Oh, a little bit of micro. I'm going to ding Custodian for he needs to stay in that nebula. You can see really just how fast the shield repair in these nebulas are. It is quite amazing. In the meantime, these Barrels are just eating the dogs out of these mining ships, and these bugs are trying to come in. So here we have a pair of escort cruisers, but their